Thank you, Elle. Let's give her some love. Good morning, everyone. Yes, good to see you. Good to be seen, right? Yeah, well, I want to welcome you here. I'm Reverend Liz, and I am co minister here. Reverend Divine is not feeling quite up to par, so I asked her to just let herself go home and get what she needs. Taking care of ourselves is primary before anything else. So she has our blessing and our love, and we'll send that to her now. And we're also going to send some love to Leanne, who had a wasp incident and is not feeling quite up to par. So, love to her as well. So, we're here to send love and know that love is that healing power and presence that is everywhere and everyone. And so, when we remember that, we invoke that energy of healing and love. We also have behind the doors that way kids. Yes, we have a youth program. So, let's send them some love. Sending them love and just appreciating Stacy and our volunteers that are showing up. And they're not volunteers, we're calling them youth leaders because we are giving, it's not child care, it's called learning about the unity principles and about spirituality at a young age. And I'm so happy that we have this program, and I'm so happy we have folks that are saying, I would like to be a youth leader. And there's a team, and if you'd like to join that, please let Stacy know afterwards, because then it shares that joy of supporting our youth. Yen, say yes. I'm hearing you, some of you. Okay, great. We're asking that everybody remains masked unless they're up on the stage because of the variants going around, and so we know it's not what you prefer. I don't necessarily prefer it either. However, there are folks that are vulnerable. There are folks that are perhaps not even vaccinated, and we want to really take care of each other. And this is the way we do it right now. So I'm going to thank you for your cooperation and willingness to do this with us. When you're outside, again, just be respectful of each other. So again, thank you so much. Again, it was a decision that we thought would be best for our most vulnerable. So thank you, thank you. And we're all about taking care of each other. It's a community, and that's what we do. We support each other in love the best we know how. And sometimes it's not comfortable, right? Right. Love is our religion, in my opinion. No matter what you call that, which is the divine spirit, Buddha, nature, or Christ consciousness, or higher power, or infinite love, all roads lead to love, and we respect everybody's path, that we're not the same. Isn't that great? You know, we always want to be the same. And we're here to teach the spiritual practices that support everyone in being the highest and greatest being that they came here to be, and really actually already are. So we have a vision here. And if you know what that is, I'm going to ask that you speak it with me. Our unity vision is that we are centered in love, inspired by spirit. We awaken, connect, and thrive. So centered in love, inspired by spirit. And I love that awaken, connect, and thrive, acronym for ACT. So I thought that was brilliant when this community put that together. Some announcements. We have on the front table a information sheet. Oh, first of all, I want to check in. Is anyone here for the second time? If so, would you raise your hand and just give me a wave? Okay, no second timers. Okay. First timers? Anyone who's a first timer in the house? Okay, thank you so much. Waving to you. I'd love to chat with you or connect with you after the service. We do have guest packets that will tell you, welcome packets that tell you a little bit more about our beliefs and about the church. So please pick one up. They'll be outside on a black round table. Thank you for your being here today. That's awesome. Let's see. Oh, and there's info sheets. We did make these up. We're not having brochures or with those bulletins, I guess they were called. But we have these, which has the contact information. regarding Reverend Divine, myself, the office, the youth leader and such. So if you want that information, contact. It also gives you a little more information and also our blessings that we do in unison often here. There's another piece of paper up there, and it's called a survey, the Unity Survey. We're asking for your input because we'd like to be mind readers, but not so much, you know? So your participation in helping us to know. Right now we're doing a series of talks this year on the 12 powers. However, in future, we'd love to know, what are you interested in? What is your interest? And that's also for education and classes and what times would work best for you. Because again, that helps us know how to serve best. And on the backside, activities and events. So if you want to do something more in that social, getting to know each other, playful, please fill out that. You can leave those with Julie in the office, put them in the offering baskets, whatever works, but thank you ahead of time for filling those out. This week, we have some things happening here. Would you like to know what they are?
Yeah.
All right. I like the energy, okay?
Yeah.
It's all about the energy. So first of all, on Tuesday, we are starting an in-person, in the church class. It'll be held in the roomy room, which is a little more comfortable. We'll have social distancing, and it's called, who knows what it's called? How to pray without talking to God. Did you know you can pray without talking to God? Well, we can. And it will be based on a book called How to Pray Without Talking to God by Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett. I ordered some more books, so we do have some in the office bookstore. And it starts this Tuesday. So if you haven't signed up or registered, please take that opportunity. It's an awesome class. It'll look at different forms of prayer. It will teach you the unity form of prayer. It's a fabulous book. It's easy to read. It's going to be a study. And what happens when we're in a class is we get more. You could buy the book, and I recommend you buy the book regardless if you take the class or not. But when you're in a class, you get different perspectives. And you also share your perspective, and it becomes a greater. The sum is greater than the parts. Yeah, something like that.
Synergy.
You know what that statement is. So join the class if you're so interested, or ask me any questions if you have any questions after the service. And then Wednesday, it's meditation. We have at 6 p.m. meditation here. And for our onliners, hello, I want to remember that you're out there too, and thanks for joining us. It's a new thing for us to be live streaming, and thank you to Andres and putting all this together. So Wednesday at 6 p.m. to 6:30, we'll be in the roomy room doing meditation. If you want to stay home, you can put it on the Facebook Live, our Facebook page, Unity Fort Collins, and you can watch us in that way and meditate from your home. So whatever works for you, join us. Then at 7 o'clock, then this coming Wednesday, it's movie night. And what is the name of the movie? It's Honeyland. And do you want to say anything about the movie? Is it a documentary? Yeah, I actually looked it up, but my mind isn't really in that movie at the moment. Got Sundance Awards. It's a fabulous movie. I would love to watch it, and you're invited to come Wednesday night. You'll be masked up. You can bring a beverage, of water, and or something like that, and join the movie. It's a love donation, so that's something you're interested in. See Lil if you have any questions, and this Wednesday. Next Wednesday at 6 o'clock, there will be here in the roomy room with Reverend Divine Grief and Loss Group. And there are people that are coming and sharing about the losses and being able to have a safe place to be able to speak and to be loved, because love is that healing power and presence. So that's what we got going on. Is there anything that I've missed in the announcement land that anybody knows about? Except that I believe that we would love to see a few more folks helping in the Sunday morning. I was going to say Monday morning. You want to come on Sunday morning to help with the preparation, to greet people. You know, it really takes a village, and we have some people that have been showing up faithfully. Today, I believe we had Kathy here, who was helping out with the coffee and such. And what else did we have? Dale, who's pretty much here every Sunday. She's awesome. However, share the joy, share the pleasure of being able to serve together. You can never, when you give in that way, you receive more. That's what I know. It's about giving. So, in that moment, I'd like us to start by going within and doing a centering prayer. And if you feel comfortable, please close your eyes. And let's just take a deep breath in together. And let it go. Another centering breath in. And release. And now imagine that the air that you are breathing is love. Let's breathe love in. And breathe that love out, taking out anything that is unlike itself, releasing it. We'll just take a few moments in the silence, breathing in love. And it is good to remember that we're not even breathing love, that love is breathing us. That there is a power and there is a presence that is infinite, divine, sweet love, and it's surrounding us, filling us, flowing through us. And the truth is, it is us. That we are each an individualized, unique expression of divine love, here to remember who we are and to release anything that we aren't. We come together in the presence of this love, opening our hearts, opening our minds, opening to the love in this room, in this service. We open to the message, the reading. We open to the music. We open to divine spirit, knowing that we are each and every one of us lifted, shifted, and gifted into a higher vibration of the love that we truly are. We remember and we celebrate that. As we release this word, giving thanks for the entire service, for each individual in the building today. Give thanks for our families, our communities, our volunteers, our youth, our staff. We are so blessed and so grateful. And so we release this prayer of truth into the love that's already here. We let go. We let God. And together you can affirm it with me by saying together, and so it is. And now it's the time that we like to speak our unity blessing together. And, oh, that's right, we don't have a screen today. Never mind. Well, but you probably already know it, and it is on our sheets if you got your little info sheet. There is a unity blessing, so that's why we put it on here in case we didn't have the screen. So together, our unity centers us in light and peace, allowing us to recognize our God within and to radiate that love to the world. And so we do.
Love is real, real is love. Love is feeling, feeling love. Love is wanting to be loved. Love is touch, and touch is love. Love is reaching, reaching love. Love is asking to be loved. Love is you and me. Love is knowing we can be. Love is free. Free is love. Love is living, living love. Love is needing to be loved. Love is you, you and me. Love is knowing we can be. Love is free. Free is love. Love is living, living love. Love is needing to be loved.
Good morning, everybody. This is a reading from the Daily Word. Pray for others. I know the truth of each dear one I hold in prayer. What an honor it is to hold others in prayer. I am grateful for this sacred trust and use it to see beyond appearances, knowing they are temporary conditions. I focus on the unchangeable truth that each one for whom I pray is a divine being, a living expression of God. As I pray for others, I envision divine peace, calming thoughts, and strengthening faith. I see healing, leading to the realization of wholeness. I pray divine love and wisdom create harmony in relationships, guiding every decision. I affirm divine order is established in every area of life. I claim for them the zeal to complete everything that needs to be done. I then give thanks, grateful to bless others with the gift of prayer. And from Matthew, again, truly I tell you, if two of you agree on earth about anything you ask, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. Thank you.
Hello again. So in 2011, I lost my 31-year-old son, Hollis, to cancer after a 2-year battle. And I went into, I'll be honest, a deep depression. And one way I sought to get rid of that was to play guitar. And I was basically talking to Hollis because he had just left. And I felt a strong connection, and all of a sudden my head started buzzing, and it was, I asked myself, is that you, Hollis? Or rather, I asked him, and this song basically is what came through, and I call it a prayer. Saying a prayer to you, You fill up my head. Just the thought of you dissipates the dread. Struggling every day, I miss you so. Is there something you want to say? Something I should know? Walking light is what you said. Walking light, do it every day. Don't walk in dark instead. Don't walk in dark instead. Don't walk in dark. I feel you watching over me from all around. You put in a smile on my face. You make me proud. Show me something new almost every day. The good and the bad. But if I can hold on to hope, how can I feel sad? Walking light, it's what you said. Walking light, do it every day. Don't walk in dark instead. Don't walk in dark instead. And aren't we all? And aren't we one? Asleep in our blindness till this dream is done. Ascending as morning, descending as night. Turn from the darkness, turn into the light. Walking light is what you said. Walking light, do it every single day. Don't walk in dark instead. Don't walk in dark instead. Walking light, don't walk in dark. Walking light, don't walk in dark. Walking light, don't walk in the dark. Don't walk in dark instead. Don't walk in dark instead. Don't walk in dark. Walk in light.
What a beautiful song. By the way, this is Elle, it's E-L, and actually Elizabeth Huditz. And Gerald Gates on the drums, so. Yeah, our new music leader. She's fabulous, isn't she? We prayed her in, you know? We prayed all of our staff in, and we have a fabulous staff here, so it's such a joy. Okay, then. So, let's see, move a few things around. I don't know, don't make any phone calls unless God calls, but, you know, put it on voicemail. You know, she could call. So how many of you have ever built something or made something? I should see everybody's hand probably. All right, just making sure your arms work, unless, you know, just got to work together here. So in order to create anything or build anything, we need two things. We need the ingredients or the materials and the tools to put them together. Yeah, Would you agree? Yes. So if you were building a house, what type of materials, and you're allowed to call out. So you're building a house. What type of materials might you want to have? A plan. All right, Dale's. Anything else you need besides a plan? Ingredients. Lumber, brick, glass. I didn't hear yours. Hemp. Well, you could build your house out of hemp. So there's a variety of things that you could use as your materials. You might need some nails and such, perhaps. I don't know. And what type of tools might you use? Hammer, saw, nails, well, screws, screwdrivers, right? Okay, we're working well together so far. So it's not a one-way. If you were going to create a book, what would be the materials and tools that you might need for a book, to create a book? Paper, pen, computer, a plan, imagination. Sweet. If you're going to make a meal, you have to have the ingredients for that specific meal, and you need to have the utensils to put it together. So you can see that this works. How about something different, like a healthy relationship? What kind of ingredients might you want to have to build a healthy relationship? Patience, trust, communication. What is that? Acceptance. Okay, so you get the picture. We're good on this, so awesome. So behind, in, and through all of these things that we created, there is one thing that is in common. Do you know what that is? There's a few answers. Well, it's actually the one thing is God, or the divine, or spirit, or whatever it is that you call that power and presence that is breathing you now. There is a creative force and source in the world. We are made in the image and likeness of God, spirit, the divine. And spirit, the divine, is the great creator. It is the creator, and therefore we are made in that image. And it's in everything and every one of us. So we're made in the image and likeness of the great creator. And I'm going to move these out of my realm because it's just easier not to have things flying around so much. So the truth is, we cannot not create. Did you know that? Some of you might go, I'm not that creative. Anybody ever feel like I'm not really creative? Well, the thing is we're creating all of the time. There's never a time when you're not creating. And today's talk is titled, Your Greatest Power Tool. Your Greatest Power Tool. And the reason I picked that title, because this month is it's Happy August. We're starting a new month. Believe it? Or phew. So August 1st, we're starting a new series of talks, and the spiritual power or ability that Charles Fillmore formulated from his study on the 12 disciples is the word is power. So we're doing a study every month on one of the powers or spiritual abilities that we all have within us, and yet we may have them underdeveloped, like a muscle that's not developed, or too much of it. So it's finding that balance of how to use that power to lift you up and have the greatest life that you can have. So it's the power of power, which sounds a little redundant, doesn't it? Power of power, what is that about? Now, see, power actually is usually given a bad rap, because when we think of power, personally, it's like we think of powerful people who are domineering, trying to control others in a negative way. You kind of feel that? And there's also a couple other ways that we can look at this word called power. One is that we can give away our power. You know, you ever do that? I have. Give away your power, and I feel like a victim, and I'm helpless, and it's just, you know, and we have that. So there's times where we might have that perspective. And then we could also have that, overly vocal, do it my way or the highway. That was kind of my dad sometimes. But, you know, it was power. Now, the definition of power, as we're going to study by Charles Fillmore's definition, power is the power to claim mastery. Power is the command authority of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And number 3, power is when we express our preferences and our prerogatives. That sounds a lot nicer to me, feels better to me. It's about self-mastery, it's about concentration and spiritual authority. Now, those 3 topics we are going to dive into. Reverend Devine and I will take one each week. And we have a special guest speaker who will be here the 5th Sunday of the month. His name is Ken Stone, and he'll be also speaking on a different aspect of power, which I'm very excited about. And Julie Legg is the one who, Reverend Julie Legg said, he's good. And I had a conversation with him. I'm like, he's good. I'm just like, I already feel that he's going to be a very powerful speaker, so make sure you're here. So anyway, we have these 3 aspects of power that Reverend Linda Martella Whitsett speaks of, and she says that power is the composition of concentration, self-mastery, and spiritual authority. So I am going to, because there's a 5th Sunday, I'm like, okay, so going back to the greatest power tool, our greatest power tool, because we have one. And we're going to look at the kinds of power tools that we use, because there's 2 kinds. There's your hand tool, and there's your power tool, right? You can have a regular saw that you're manually working, or you can have the power saw. Now, the definition of a power tool, I love this. A power tool is a tool that is activated by an additional power source and mechanisms other than the solely manual labor used by hands. So you have manual labor where we're having to do the work, or we plug into a power source. That just triggers me in going, well, there's a power source that we could plug into and be able to have things automated, right? And we could not have to work so hard and then that, hey, I got my power on, and that's just going to cut through that like butter, right? That piece of wood or whatever, because I got my power drill. Some of the guys are like, yeah, she knows tools. I got my tools. So the most common tools are electric motors, and of course, the manual, I thought it was very interesting, manual labor. That's when man has to do all the work. So what is your greatest power tool? Any guesses? It's very quiet. Prayer, intuition, love. I knew I'd get some forms, and it's like, but what could it be? The greatest power tool is the Word. The Word. Don Miguel Ruiz, and anyone familiar with Don Miguel Ruiz and the Four Agreements? I love Don Miguel and the Four Agreements. Like, every time I read it, I am reminded of don't take things personally, be impeccable with your word, always do your best, and what's the other one? Something wonderful like always do your best. What's the other one? Oh, yeah, that one I think I said it. Don't make assumptions. So I did a class on this last year, and every time I do the class, it reminds me, am I practicing these? So anyway, Don Miguel Ruiz, I love what he says. And he says the Word. Why is the Word our greatest power tool? He said, your word is the power that you have to create. In the Bible, in the Gospel of John, it says, in the beginning, there was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. Take that in for a second. The Word was God. That's pretty big, okay? So through the Word, he says, you express your creative power. It is through your Word that you manifest everything. What you dream, what you feel, And what you really are will all be manifested through the Word. So what is the Word? The Word is not just a sound or a written symbol. The Word is a force. It is the power you have to express and to communicate, to think, and thereby create the events in your lives. He says, the Word is your most powerful tool you have as a human. It is the tool of magic. But the sword can have two edges. I'm getting chill bumps just reading his stuff. Your word can create the most beautiful dream, or your word can destroy everything around you. The word is your greatest power. So, take that in. The word. The word. You know, the word is not a series of letters. They're not speaking of, putting letters together in a sequence to form an idea of something. It is so much greater. The word is actually the vibration. How many of you have heard of the law of attraction? Well, majority of us have. Well, I think there's a deeper law than the law of attraction. There is the law of vibration. And the law of vibration is actually the law of reflection. Okay, taking this in, I know you are. So the law of attraction is really the law of vibration, whatever we're having as our vibrational energy in feeling tone, and it will be reflected back. It's not what we think, it's what we vibrate at. And it's all based on our beliefs. Our life is a mirror, always reflecting back to us. Anyone ever heard of E Squared by Pam Grout? I've met her, I've taken her workshop. Great, and I've done a class on hers as well. Pam Grout says, thought is creative. The thoughts you hold in mind, both conscious and unconscious, create what you see in your life. Every thought has a certain vibration. It boomerangs back to you according to its pitch, intensity, and depth of feeling. Your thoughts show up in your life in proportion with their constancy, intensity, and power. Everything is a reflection. That's kind of scary sometimes. It could be, especially when you go, you've all heard, it's done unto you as you believe. Come on, say it with, it's done unto you as you believe. So, what is a belief? A belief, a definition of a belief is a thought you hold to be true. Again, a belief is a thought you hold to be true, and it may or may not be true. Just saying, we have beliefs that are conscious and unconscious that are running us like a virus sometimes, and we have to sometimes excavate and bring up those beliefs to look at them, because we have beliefs we don't even know that are there. So how do you know what you believe? You take a look at your life. Now, because there might be things in your life that you don't particularly like. There might be pain in your life. And the inclination may be to judge oneself. I created that. I would never create that. What person would ever create that? My mom created that. My brother created that. We see painful experiences and we think everything is creative. Everything comes from consciousness. So it gets a little sticky, right? Because now we're looking at it going, I wouldn't have created that. And there's also something called race consciousness that is also affecting us, whether we are consciously aware that there is a belief system in one's culture, in one's world, it is affecting us too. And we also don't know what happens on the other side of the veil in what kind of agreements we come into this life to do. So that also gives me I don't know and don't need to know particular. I just need to know what's going on today. So the key is not to blame or shame ourselves for having anything in our life that is less than our greatest desire. That is not the purpose. The purpose is to recognize if this is where I am in my life and I'm not liking it so much, I'm not going to focus on what I don't like. I'm going to focus on the seeds that I'm planting today is what I'm going to reap in the future. My thoughts are the seeds that I'm planting today. What I choose to think about and focus on today will become my reality. Maybe I'm having some past thoughts that I had that are showing up today. That's not so important as what I have the power. We have the power within to create through our word something magnificent, so much better than we could have ever imagined. So, and there is a power within us that is greater than any situation, condition, circumstance, fear, doubt, or worry. There is a power. Do you believe that? You might go, yeah, kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 7. I don't know that I really have that power. Well, we want to raise that idea. Now, I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes for a moment and just look at your life, and where in your life would you like to experience something greater? Maybe greater health, greater peace, greater financial abundance, greater love, greater clarity, greater peace. What would you like to have that's something greater? And you can open your eyes now and give a nod if you've located some area that you'd like to have some greater expression or experience in. Now, how many of you would like to know how to do that? You can nod your head again, just as long as you don't nod off. So how you can create anything is in the power of your... Okay, one more time. How do you create anything is through the power of your... Very good. Okay. Just no nodding off on my shift. So the next question is, do you have an instruction manual for the power tool of the word? Because, you could get a drill, but if you don't know how to operate it, you might want to look at the instruction book. And especially if you want to do it correctly in a way that's always going to be the most optimal use of that tool. So we need an instruction manual, because I like to know the word. Okay, so that's a great general. How do I do that? It's through the spiritual practice. There's a spiritual practice, and it's called prayer. Every time I say prayer, I have this little saying, prayer makes you aware of what's already there when you declare. So it's just, I can't help it. It just runs me. I have things that just are on automatic. So prayer is what engages the word. It's that which is the turn-on button. It is the plug-in. You plug in to spirit through prayer. Now, prayer is not something we use to change something or someone. Okay, say that again. Prayer is not something that we use to change something in our lives. And you're sitting there going, oh, well, I want to create something, and isn't that changing it from this to that? Truth is, we're not changing anything outside of ourselves. The only thing we need to change is our consciousness. The only thing that changes is this, because everything is an outpicturing. So I need to do the inner work of having this thing called prayer. And we don't pray to a God. There is no God outside of us. God is not a person. God is a principle. God is a principle. Not the principle that you're going to see at the school because you're in trouble. But it is the principle of life. And when we take this class, read this book, How to Pray Without Talking to God, we dive deep. If you really want to know a more effective way and have a manual on how to use the word, this is an instruction manual. So I highly recommend taking the class. And if you can't take the class, get the book, read it, digest it, take it in, learn from it, and use it. She speaks of your divine identity. Our words and methods of prayer derive from our sense of identity. When we view ourselves as only human, we pray to God from a consciousness of powerlessness. I need help. And I'm going to just stop and say all prayer is good. All prayer is effective. I'm just teaching you the unity way. And unity way is actually based on some of our greatest way showers, teachers like Jesus. You know, Jesus never asked for anything. He knew who he was. He claimed his spiritual identity. And he always gave thanks. He didn't have to ask for something. He just knew who he was and that he was connected to everything. And so he would just say, thank you. Lazarus, get up out of the tomb. Wake up. He could do that because he knew who he was deep down inside. We know who we are here, but we haven't embodied it. I haven't embodied that. We pray to God from a the consciousness of powerless. When we realize our divine identity, we pray from divine consciousness. Huge. I'm praying from, not to. That's what this book is about. That's why I'm encouraging you to take this class. It is fabulous. We're going to learn so much. Do you know what one reason is that we actually pray? Again, I said it's not about changing something. Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett says, I came to realize we pray for one reason and one reason only. All reasons for prayer can be distilled down to one. We pray to claim and assert our divine identity so that we can live more fully from it. We pray so that we may embody the divine nature that we already are. This type of prayer is called affirmative prayer, and that's what we'll be teaching in the prayer chaplaincy program that'll start in the fall, and also we'll start that study now. So, as an analogy for this idea of prayer, you know, when you're traveling somewhere and you got a radio station in your Denver, but you're heading south, and all of a sudden the radio station you're listening to starts to, static. Well, you can't connect anymore. I like to look at prayer as a radio station, and I want to tune in. I want to tap in to the K-Love station. Okay, I want K-Love. I want to find the vibration of K-Love within myself instead of K-Fear. I want to tune it. That's what prayer does for me. It tunes me. Tap me in and tune in to the divine one that is breathing us. That's what we're here for, is to remember I am God in expression. And it may sound really weird to hear, but so is everybody else. We're all gods. Jesus himself said, know ye not, you are gods. We're creating all the time, but we haven't seen ourselves in that way. We don't honor ourselves as that we are the divine, and we got to remember. We forget who we are, and prayer is about remembering, oh, that's who I am. Sorry, I've forgotten. It's okay. So this is just, again, a program of tapping into the Word. I want the Word to come through me from that highest self and drop and release everything that's not like that. Are you in? Are you ready to work with that power tool called the Word? Let's hear it, the Word. And we're going to tap in, and we're going to use prayer as that vehicle to tune in and tap in. And we can create fabulous lives when we remember that I am the divine. And whatever it is that I want on the outside, here's the thing. You get to be that. Now, that may not work in your mind because it's like, well, how am I financial abundance? Take the thing that you recognize that you would like to have as greater than. What are the characteristics of that? And know that that's who you are. No longer do I need it outside myself. I am that perfect home, that right job, that loving relationship. I am that perfect health. I am that. I don't need it. I already am it. When you claim the I am that I am, it's done. And to believe it, to feel it, to say, how does freedom act and look and talk. I did this exercise. I remember laying down on a sidewalk in this practice. I was out for a walk on my apartment complex. I laid down on the sidewalk and just went, la 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 la, and I don't know what. Oh, and I was singing, "If I Were a Rich Woman," la 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 la. I was being a, if anybody saw me in the neighborhood, they probably would be calling people up and saying, "Come and get her." But I was practicing my freedom. So I'm blessing you. I'm knowing that you are recognizing the power within yourself, that you are the Word. The Word was God, and we have that power. Let's use it to better know who we are and have a better experience in life. So let's go within, just taking a moment of giving thanks, gratitude for the expression of life, for the Word, for the teachings of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore and all the master teachers. We appreciate and give thanks for the opportunity to learn, to change our ideas and ways that we see life. We are creating a world that works for everyone right here and now. We are so blessed. We are grateful. And together we anchor it by saying, "And so it is." Blessed be. And now, some music from our amazing music leader, Elle. Thank you, Elle. And Gerald on drums.
Wow, that was powerful. I've always believed that prayer is one of our powers, and I have certainly used that word to bring things to myself. And when you see it work, it's like, really? It's that easy? It's crazy, isn't it? Okay, here's a song Liz suggested I work up. I never heard it before. It's a great song. One of the things they were hoping I'd be able to do here at church is to engage people to maybe sing along. Is that right? And I've seen you dancing, so I'm trying to do it in a dancey way. So what I'm going to do is the line "Spirit Divine" is repeated. I'm going to sing it, and then I'm going to sing a harmony, and I'm going to like a high one, and I'll sing a low one. So listen and go, is there a part in there for me? Or, of course, the melody always works. So, and when we get into it, we're going to jam a little. And if somebody wants to go like, the gospel thing, yeah, something like that, that's fine. I would love it. So that's where I'm at. So brand new song, Spirit Divine. It's by Elaine Silver. 1, 2, 3. Spirit Divine, Spirit Divine, Spirit Divine. I'm trusting Spirit to meet all my needs. When I trust in Spirit, I always succeed. Energy flowing, light brightly shines. Spirit Divine, Spirit Divine, Spirit Divine, Spirit Divine. One more of those. Spirit Divine. Sometimes I'm frightened, feeling confused. Then I remember I'm being used and exalted by Spirit Divine, Spirit Divine, Spirit Divine. Yeah, move with it. Spirit Divine, Spirit Divine. There's a note for everybody. Spirit Divine. I'm open and willing, and I'm The blessings I feel overflow in my cup, with gratitude pointing me to the one mind, Spirit divine. Spirit divine. Spirit divine. Gerald, you're welcome to sing too. Spirit divine. Spirit divine. I'm trusting Spirit to meet all my needs. When I trust in Spirit, I always succeed. Energy flowing, light brightly shines. Here we go. Spirit divine. Let's jam that a little. Spirit divine. Yeah, I can hear you. Spirit divine. Spirit divine. Spirit divine. Feel the Spirit. Spirit divine. I feel Spirit divine. Oh, one more time. Spirit divine. Thank you.
Spirit divine. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Gerald. Sounds good on
Thank
the
you,
drums, huh?
Gerald.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So
He's
nice.
one smart man. He's taught me a lot already.
So now it's the time in our service where we would, in the past, pass around our offering baskets. However, in the sense of keeping safe, we have offering baskets that are strategically planted in different places. This way, there's one by the piano, the middle post, and I think one by the other door. So that's where you get to put your love donation. And I also was given a little tidbit. You want to hear about it? Yes. The little tidbit is coming from the back room. Stacy Thompson, who is our youth leader, asked me what I thought about this. In 2 weeks, they're going to start having tithing practice in the kids' room. Now, they can either put money in if they have it, or they're going to make little hearts and put it in the basket so that they get to start having this opportunity to understand giving and receiving. It's a principle, and it's actually a spiritual practice. So we're very excited for that opportunity, because you learn at a young age that when you can never outgive the Spirit. That's all I know. So I've tried, and I continue to give 10% of anything that comes in, because that's the tithing way and such, and we've learned that. So thank you for your generosity. Thank you to the kids for them getting to have an opportunity to learn. And so we have a prosperity blessing that we'd love for you to join us in speaking. And if you know it, that's great. And if you don't, then it's on the sheet. And together, if you want to put your hand on your heart or not. And together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. Thank you. And now we have our prayer of protection. And we know that we have done some tweaking and adjusting of the prayer of protection. It's by James Dillett Freeman. The prayer of protection used to just say, the light of God surrounds us, and then it just said these things. But we wanted to embody it, to realize that God isn't something outside of ourselves. So we used to say, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light, which is true. However, Spirit expanded that and say, we are the light. So the words are different on the sheet, and for those that don't have the sheet and think that you might be saying, I am, let's change that, because we are the light. Okay, so together. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God unfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Very good. And now our closing peace song with Elle.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our creator, family all are we. As we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
So it's our benediction time, and just a reminder to wear your masks while you're in the building. You can remove them. Just remember social distancing and comfort level, and check with folks. There is a table out there for the guest packets. There also is a box out there that is a prayer request. If you have a prayer request, I call it a prayer revealment. You can put that in there, and any suggestions, gratitudes can go into the box. And there's coffee, so please join in with that. And so if you'd like to join me with a short benediction just to anchor our service, I'm going to close my eyes, and if you care to repeat after me, I am open and grateful
I am open and grateful
for knowing the truth,
for knowing the truth.
that Great Spirit is all there is.
The Great Spirit is all there is.
It lives in me and through me,
It lives in me and through me,
and as me as well.
and as me as well.
I know that all power
I know that all power
resides within.
resides within.
I am using the power of my word
I am using the power of my word
to create more good
to create more good
as I remember who I am,
as I remember who I am,
the divine in expression.
the divine in expression.
I'm ready to have the best week ever.
I'm ready to have the best week ever.
And so it is,
And so it is.
and so I am.
And so I am.
Yippee-doo,
Yippee-doo.
and yippee-done.
And yippee-done.
And so it is. Thank you so much.